So, good day, warm greetings, and here we are to continue on our adventure in mindfulness of breathing. And the last tetrad, the end of this whole sequence of settling in deeper and deeper, is to come to a place where we're able to observe things in a non-interfering way, non-reactive way. And whereas observing by itself might not seem like a very interesting way of meditating, perhaps, or a little bit detached, it comes after a process of calming, relaxing the body and mind, and liberating ourselves just enough with our reactivity and our preoccupations and our busy mind, so that rather than letting go, at this point we can let things be. And letting things be can be seen as a very generous thing. To not interfere, to not assert the self and not assert one's preferences and desires and aversions, but to really just kind of have a peacefulness to observe. And some things we observe are difficult. We might be anxious, we might be upset, we might be agitated in some way. But it is possible to come to a place where we just observe that and we let it be. We don't have to let go of it, because we can just let it be and watch it, see it. And so the last tetrad is just observing things coming and going, and starting to become attuned to the fact that in some way, or many ways, in profound ways, our experience is constantly shifting and changing and arising and passing. And to now not be interested in the content of our experience, the content of our thoughts, the content of our feelings, but rather to be interested in the process by which they arise and they pass, they come and they go. We're switching to process rather than content is a big shift for the human mind. And to observe, to let be. And in a sense, we're learning to ease up on our experience, not to get rid of it, but to be able to observe it in a peaceful way. So, beginning with a meditation posture that allows you to both have some alertness, but also to feel at ease in yourself. Some easiness. And to gently close your eyes and to take a few long, slow, deep breaths. Long, slow, deep breaths to feel yourself, fill yourself with awareness, and to relax, to settle in. And to settle in as you exhale to some place within that feels stable. A stability. Stable in your body. Stable in your heart. Maybe stable in your mind. Not looking for great stability, but rather becoming a little more stable than you were. Stable here. Definitively here and now, in this place at this time. And then letting your breath return to normal, and perhaps as if there's waves of relaxation through your body, relaxing the muscles of your face. As you breathe, the waves of breathing are like waves washing through your face, softening, relaxing. Waves of relaxation through the shoulders. Waves of relaxation through the belly, softening on the exhale. And waves of relaxation through the whole body. And then letting yourself sit quietly here. And let yourself be easy. Be at ease in your body. Or if your body feels uneasy, ease up on how it is. Allow things to be, but ease up around them. It's okay. Breathe with it. Ease up and just observe experiences of your body. And set your heart at ease. Maybe you can feel gentle, tender, soft in the heart here and now, at ease. Or if the heart is uneasy, to ease up on that. It's okay. And for you to observe, this is how it is. As if the observing is accompanying the uneasiness you feel with care and compassion. And as you exhale, setting your mind at ease. It's okay to be here and now. And if the mind is uneasy, ease up on that. So you can maybe just observe. And be at ease in how you observe. No need to strain or be afraid as you open up to observe phenomena. The observing itself is a place of safety. We begin approaching a place of non-reactivity, non-harming, just observing phenomena. And one of the things you can observe is how you lose your ease, how you lose your calm, how you go in the opposite direction, then easing up. Be sure that you don't overlook the moments of contraction and agitation, reactivity. But when you see it, when you know it, meet it with relaxing. Meet it with easing up. With observing. This is how it is now. Letting it be. But not being it. Letting it be, but not becoming the reactivity. And all along, breathing in and breathing out. As if breathing is the rhythm of the universe that washes through you, through everything. noticing ways that you've been caught, that you get caught in thoughts and feelings and experiences in the body, where being caught or preoccupied or concerned is going in a different direction than being at ease, easing up, simply observing. With the help of breathing. Let breathing help you not get so caught in things. Stay with the rhythm of breathing so that you're in better position to simply observe the comings and goings of reactivity, preoccupations, contractions. Comings and goings of what you want and what you don't want. The coming and goings of wanting and not wanting. And then as we come to the end of this sitting, to appreciate the possibility of easing up. In one way, this easing up is so helpful, is to help us recognize an inner safety that as we sit and meditate, we don't need to be talking to people or interacting with them and be out in the world, driving our cars on dangerous freeways. That for these few minutes of the meditation, you don't have to solve your problems or engage in the difficulties of life. It's a safe time just to be and let be. And it's also somewhat private, what goes on inside. So in the safety and privacy, without anybody needing to know, can you open your heart tenderly, caringly, to feel goodwill, to have kindness, love. First, for the people in your life, it's relatively easy to love and have goodwill. And allow yourself the luxury of feeling that privately, without any complications of it being done publicly or overtly. Just feeling the simplicity of your care, your kindness, your appreciation of others. Perhaps breathe with it. Breathe through those feelings. Make room for it. And with this simple, easeful connection to your goodwill, perhaps it's easier now, again in the privacy of meditation, to have thoughts of well-wishing for others. It would be quite wonderful if they could be happy and peaceful, safe, and that they could thrive and have a good life. And then to give words to this goodwill, this well-wishing. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they be peaceful. May they be free. And may our well-wishing extend outwards throughout the lands and seas and in all directions. How wonderful it would be if all beings could be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings everywhere be free. And with the support of our meditation practice and mindfulness practice, may we, in our way, in ways that we can, contribute to that being possible. So, my friends, we continue with this Anapanasati, and the topic is the 14th step. One trains oneself, breathing in, observing, fading away, or a different translation is one trains, breathing in, observing, fading away, observing dispassion. And this word translated as dispassion, the word is viraga, V-I-R-A-G-A. It doesn't quite work for some English speakers because over time the word passion has acquired many positive associations and connotations, definitions in English in some circles. And I think the original meaning of it, that the passion of Christ, where it meant suffering, is kind of lost. But I think still there's remnants in English that the passion can have negative connotations. It is a source of suffering. So, someone has a passion for power, or passion for sex, or passion for, something, that it's an intense engagement in something. An intense engagement can be very painful. So so I want to talk a little bit about this dispassion, this viraga, maybe with an indirect way. So Buddhism is often considered a religion. And once it's called a religion, it's reasonable for people to try to understand what are the fundamental tenets and beliefs of this religion. And in doing that, it's kind of looking at the generalizations, just big universal statements about things. And so one of the universal statements is that Buddhism emphasizes that everything is impermanent or inconstant. Usually people say everything's impermanent. And then we have this universal statement, and then we're contending with this universal statement, like, is this really true? And is this always the case? And this seems like, maybe rather depressing way of seeing everything, or all kinds of reactions to this, almost like a philosophical statement, general statement, as if it's, some universal truth that Buddhism teaches. And so looking at this universal statements as to understand Buddhism is one approach. I think the practice approach to understanding Buddhism is not to understand Buddhism in the abstract, but not begin there, but to begin with oneself and one's own experience. So to the degree to which Buddhism emphasizes the possibility of being free from suffering, then we begin with ourselves and look, what is the suffering here that I have? What's my pain, emotional pain? What's happening here? And they say it's possible to be free of it. Well, how could I become free of it? What does it take? And in this very personal kind of exploration and feeling and being here, then Buddhism says, well, if you really look carefully at your experience, you'll see that there's a very close connection to the experience of inconstancy, change, transiency, impermanence, and our ability to ease up from our suffering, to soften it, to calm it down, even to have it fade away and disappear. And so we see then, in this kind of going from this direction more personally, the purpose of seeing inconstancy is not to have some universal theory and belief and philosophy about life, but rather it's a pragmatic, practical idea that in the observation of change and inconstancy, this is an antidote, this is a medicine for what Buddhism calls suffering. And there's something that eases up when we can really kind of feel the flow and be in the current of change. And whether impermanence and constancy is a universal philosophical, universal metaphysical concept or other is really besides the point. The point is that we're pointing to inconstancy and impermanence because of its value in helping us loosen up, lighten up, free up the places we get caught. And that's enough. We don't have to then make a big leap of philosophy to make a universal claim about, now I know something about, the fundamental nature of the universe, the physics of the universe, that everything is impermanent and changing all the time. It's an interesting idea, but that idea is not really what, Buddhist practice is about. But as we see things shifting and changing and transitory nature of phenomena, and we get more interested in the process of change, the process of inconstancy, than we are with the content of our thoughts, content of our feelings. Many times we're focused on the meaning of things, or the content, the purpose, what's really, the ideas and the particularity of what is going on. But in a sense, at this point in Anapanasati, we're stepping back, and the particular, what we're thinking is not that important. Just to see that thinking itself is an inconstant phenomena. It comes and goes. Probably you've had some of your thoughts repeatedly. They've come and gone for days and weeks, months, years, and they just come and they go. And after a while, if you see how much they come and they go, maybe you ease up about it. And and also with our emotions, sometimes the meaning of the emotions, the story around them, even the emotion itself, what emotion it is and what it means to have that emotion and how it reflects back on ourselves as a human being comes into play. And but at some point in meditation, we shift from all that complication to not even caring whether it's sadness or joy, but rather tuning into how the process of how it is a shifting and changing and morphing and moving and coming in and out of existence, and all, how attention, awareness picks it up and puts it down, gets distracted by the train whistle, and for a moment is not sad because it's just a train whistle. And then we pick up, then we're aware of sadness again. That has arisen, and then we hear more whistles, and it's all this kind of going and coming and going. And it's that coming and going that begins to loosen up. It's like a lubricant that begins unsticking the ways in which we are kind of uncontrollably caught in our emotions or in our activity and our motivations. So, and one of those is raga. And raga can be translated as passion or lust. When it's translated as lust, some people feel like it limits it too much to sexual passion. And but one way of it's uncontrollable. The one definition in the Pali Text Society Dictionary is uncontrolled excitement. So there's something about, I like to think of it as drivenness. When there's a drivenness to our to our drives, a drivenness. We're driven by lust, driven by greed, driven by hatred and ill will. And there's some way in which something has taken over control and we're not in control anymore. This power, that level of passion. And describing the way I do, it seems kind of dramatic. But in all kinds, as we get quieter and quieter in the mind, we see the subtler and subtler ways in which we're caught in the grip of certain drivenness. Anybody who meditates tend to see that, that how surprisingly how much we get swept away in our thoughts or pulled into our thoughts, caught in our thoughts. That represents a little bit of kind of uncontrolled excitement or interest or engagement. As we settle back into just observing, we can see that this doesn't serve us to be involved in this uncontrolled drivenness and caughtness and preoccupation. And so there starts to becoming this process of disinterest, losing interest in continuing to doing that. I've had the same thoughts for months now. I'm not interested in doing it anymore. I have the same preoccupation with certain emotions and feeling as if they're the most important thing. And I'm not so interested in it anymore. And I don't want to give much more attention to these things. I've given so much attention to them. I've been kind of driven to pay attention to my anxiety. And I think it's okay to put the anxiety to the side. And I know I'm anxious, but I don't have to be so driven by it. And I can ease up. I can just observe it. I can not be so involved or entangled with it. And so the movement to being non-driven, movement being the dropping of compulsion, is this thing called viraga, this fading away, this dispassion. And it's very closely connected to freedom. It is a kind of freedom. And after a while we begin appreciating that freedom is sweet. Freedom is a breath of fresh air. Freedom is a kind of joy and delight and vitality and a kind of health, a healthiness. And so to begin to feel that, have a feeling for, a sense of freedom as we observe. There's freedom in the observing. And that freedom in the observing is a guide, a support to lose interest or lose our preoccupation with, our drivenness with the things that we're caught in. And so there's this fading away of compulsion, of that a process that some translators will translate as dispassion, a movement towards dispassion, towards freedom. The word viraga is a celebrated term in India, more often than not. It's kind of akin to liberation itself, the freedom itself, and the end of raga, the end of compulsion, drivenness, lust in all its forms, passion in all its negative forms. And it comes from it can come with a peaceful way. I like to think of this whole process as a process of settling into ease, easing up, relaxing, softening, fading away into not into nothing so much, but fading into a peaceful, happy, healthy, liberated way of being. So breathing in, observing fading away. Breathing out, observing dispassion as it comes along here. So thank you, and we'll continue with this. And I believe, I apologize I didn't check my calendar, but I believe that on Friday we could do another session where afterwards, if you want to stay and ask some questions. That was very nice last Friday, and as we're doing this Anapanasati, maybe it's nice for you to have more questions about this. So thank you all very much.